first one was June 27th.
Yeah.
They got the footage, but it ain't got no sound.
Ready, big down?
I'm ready.
Let's get it. Welcome. Texas Plug TV. You could be anywhere in the world wide web, but you're right here with us, and we really appreciate that. Today is a very special day. We got a very special guest, and we're honored to have Mr. Demo, Mr. June 27, man. Tell these people, man, who you are, man, and introduce yourself.
What's up, world? It's that player Big Demo. That player Big Demo, Demo D, whatever. You know, depends on how long you've been knowing me. Oh, Mr. June 27.
There it is, for the world, man, Mr. June 27. So, man, it's so much we want to get into, man. Let's just take it to the roots, man. For those who don't know you, where your origins, where you start, man? How you?
Well, you know, originally from 3rd Ward.
Born 3rd Ward?
Yeah, JD, Jefferson Davis, baby. Well, most of H-Town was born.
Yeah.
And we moved out of 3rd Ward into Long Drive in 1980 and shit. 3rd Ward maybe, but Long Drive raised me.
Already. So about what age were you when you moved to Long Drive?
10.
10 years old. Okay, so tell us a little bit about your household. Let's start there. Was you with your mom and your dad, and did you have any siblings?
Yeah, I'm the middle child. Okay. I got an older sister, Tasha.
Okay.
That's how I met Screw through my sister. And I got a younger brother, T. Lee Marshall. Not the T. Lee that's gone, another T. Lee.
Okay.
And it was just me and my mama and one of my aunties, you know. And you know, we started out, like I said, in 3rd Ward. With, you know, my mama had us young, so.
Where at the 3rd Ward? I know 3rd Ward.
Shit. Well, we stayed in first on Rosedale, and then we moved to the Color Doors, and people that know what the Color Doors know what the Color Doors is. That's the apartments on McGregor right across from the Bayou. But we stayed all over 3rd Ward, Wichita, Alabama, Rosalie, Winburn, just all over that mud. In like quick 10 years of my life, I went to Lockhart and Turner, you know what I'm saying? And then like when we moved Long Drive in 80, you know, that was like stability for me, because you know, we was in one place for a while.
Okay, so what was the climate like in 3rd Ward before you moved to Long Drive? Like what was going on? I guess it's late 70s.
Prostitutes. It was I was born in 70.
Okay.
So 70 to 80, you know what I'm saying? It was it was hustlers, you know, prostitutes, you know, really the same shit going on now, except it wasn't no crack.
I was just about to ask you that. This is the pre-crack era, for somebody like me who wasn't around. I'd like to know a little bit more like what that was like. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know,
if it wasn't crack, then what was being sold?
It was just, well, see, my family was hustlers, but I was a little kid. I really didn't know what my grandmother and my grandpa, you know, what it really was doing, you know. I just know we ain't want for nothing, you know what I'm saying, even though we was in 3rd Ward. And like every time if I needed something good or we needed something big, I know it was my grandmother, my grandpa would come through. That's all I knew. And then like by the time we moved to Long Drive, it was things changed, because now I'm teen.
Right.
I'm preteen.
Right.
So this is where I realized that I knew from the jump this was gonna be a new era. This is where you remake yourself. So like on some
at 10 years old, you already knowing that.
Yeah. This is some everybody hate Chris type of shit. You know, I'm knowing, you know, whatever I'm gonna do, whoever I was over there, I'm finna leave it over there and be somebody different. But I was on the team. You know what I don't know how my mind was working, man. And I always rhymed. My mama would have me making little poems and like for cards, like Hallmark or something, but they would be just mine. But she had me, and I'm a little nigga, you know, I don't know nothing about no love or nothing, you know, but I'm rhyming the words.
Right. So where you getting the words from? Like if you don't really know about love, like you just.
But I know the vocab. I guess just growing up, just knowing shit, not being stupid, I guess. I don't know. I can't even remember not knowing how to read. You know what I'm saying? But you know, we had the C-Mac, Hit Mac, Run books. You know what I'm saying, with the rhyme.
Right.
And I was like, oh, that's pretty fly. I can do that. And so then, like, once my mama seen it, she had me doing, like I say, writing poems. It wasn't always love, but it was something cheesy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, shit, I don't, you know.
So that's probably where you first started seeing that you had an interest in rhyming.
Yeah, well,
wordplay.
I knew I could rhyme. That's all I knew, but it wasn't no rhyme or reason, no pun intended. But one day, I got up, went to school, came home. We used to have a little.
What grade you in around this time?
I'm in the 4th grade.
Okay, so you by
I'm
10. This is right.
I'm 9.
No, okay, so you still in third ward.
Yeah.
Okay, it's before the transition.
Now, yeah. Well, see, my birthday in the summer, so I'm in Long Drive. My birthday just ain't came yet. It's 1980.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So you had already moved to Long Drive, so you about to be 10.
Yeah, I was gonna be 10.
I got you.
And man, cause see, we stayed right around. I went to Cornelius, and the Cornelius is on the same street as Hardman. And anyway, man, I came home, and we had a radio on the bar, in the kitchen. You know, we had a straight bar, and we had a little box radio. And this song came on, and the dude was like, "Man, y'all gotta check this out. This dude, I ain't never heard nothing like this here. They say it's called rapping." And that boy played that mud. Hip, hop, a hippie to the hippie to hip, hip, you hop, you don't stop to bang. I'm like, wait a minute. And like, it was so dope, they played it again.
Right, on the radio.
Yeah, 102 back this, you know. And
so they played it back to back.
Back to back.
You're recalling the first time you heard rap on the radio.
Yeah, Rapper's Delight, period. That was the first time it was played in Houston, period. And I remember it blew my mind. And cause they were like talking, you know what I'm saying? I was like, man, they say it's called rapping.
Prior to hearing Rapper's Delight, what were you into, and just what were the people around you? What was being listened to? Like, what was being consumed?
My uncle, my mama, my auntie, and my grandmother and them, they all was music people. You know, my grandmother had the piano in the living room, in the room you can't go in and out. She had that in there, and we played on that. But they bought records. You got to realize, I'm a kid. You know, this the '80s now, but it's the '70s really. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I don't know what kind of drugs they was on or anything or nothing like that, but it was the music. They was on that funk. They was on. You know, they stayed jamming, you know, like, so when rap hit and people were sampling songs, I always knew where the song came from, because my family and them bought records. They had the room with the net, with the fish net on the ceiling with albums in the top of it and stuff like that. And straight 70s shit, you know what I'm saying? And like,
so we talking about like Motown and
whoever was jamming, and you know, again, you know, late 70s, early 80s, it wasn't just R&B, you know, it was that disco, hip hop. It was, the music was funny.
It was kind of transformed.
It was transformed. It was techno, but it was still rhythmy, and it, you know, it was disco kind of not. And so it was right there. And so to hear that Rapper's Delight, that blew my mind. And like a bell went off. I was like, oh, that's why I can rhyme. That's why I can rhyme, because I can do what he doing. And then, like, I found out it was 3 of them. I was like, man, there's 3 of them. You know, everybody thought it was one dude. But, and,
so what? How did you find out? Was the video also being played?
Nah, wasn't no video.
So how
they tell you, you know, it's 3 of them, but then, like, after you hear the song, because they play, that shit was heavy rotation.
Yeah.
That was the first hit I knew of ever in my life. Because it was heavy rotation. It was some new shit.
Right.
You know, it was just in New York, but they put it out to the world, and it was wow, you know. So after 3rd or 4th time you hear, he say his name, Wonder Mike. And then, this was Master G, you know. Then you say, yeah, it's 3 of them. That was the first song. I wrote down every lyric of that mug. Everybody that was around when that song came out, wrote that song. Everybody that heard that song when it first come out, they know that song still.
Why did everybody write the song down?
To learn what they were saying. They wanted to recite that mug, man.
Yeah.
And that was the only way to do it, because it seemed like they were going so fast. You know, I know, like for me, and that rapper's delight. You know what? I was 8. I was in the 4th grade. Yeah, I was 9. We would see, but when we moved out along, my grandmother and them moved to Tropicana Village, which is right by Hardman area. And so we went and stayed with my grandmother. Me and my sister went and stayed with my grandmother till my mama got on her feet. That's when she was getting ready to move in the Long Drive. And so that's how I ended up hearing it, because I ran home from school, and man, I can't, like, I'm still tripping off. I remember when I first heard it.
First time you heard rap.
And I remember everybody was like, that song, it hit like how June 27 hit, and that's how that one hit.
Interesting.
Because it was like, that was the first rap song ever.
That's crazy,
And then
man.
that's the first rap song as far as Houston and the world knew,
Right.
you know what I'm
Right.
saying? Them dudes in New York was,
Already on.
yeah. They were like, man, they ain't even from New York, them boys from New Jersey. You know, we were like, what the fuck?
So the world is like fascinated that it's rappers, that it's music. It's not that it's music, but it's on the radio for everybody, you know. But New York, where it's coming from, they
hate it because them dudes ain't from New York. And then Big Bank Hank stole his verse from what's the guy name?
So New York was probably upset because there's other people in New York that's
really
actually right.
And that's how. Well, I don't know, but I'm figuring that's how they went and got Grandmaster Flash, you know, and put him on Sugar Hill too, and Curtis Blow and all them dudes. But you know, we was hearing those songs too. We got the message. We started getting that Curtis Blow, Grandmaster Flash, Sugar Hill gang. Every now and then you get something else, but like then, only how you got something else was DJs.
Yeah.
You know, because DJs was in the DJ club.
Right.
And they'll play a record. You'd be like, man, what's that? Because I remember after the Sugar Hill gang, it was a song called Your Mama. And I think it's by a group called Wolf Ticket or something like that. But it was, Your Mama. It was a crazy song. And it was these dudes at school in the cafeteria that used to rap. It was 2 of them. So they used to recite that song every day at lunch. And everybody used to be like, oh yeah, man, and everybody loved it. And I was like, man, them niggas, I'm like, I was in the writing rhymes then.
Right.
But I never recited them or nothing.
Right.
I was like, they loving them, and they don't even know how I write my own rhyme, you know.
Right.
And I remember one day, they did that little thing, and then I just started rapping when they finished. Some little corny rap I had, you know, I'm in elementary school, man. Right. But I remember the last line, I said, and I wrote my own rhyme, and everybody, oh man, oh, they just like, oh, he banned. And that was the beginning of my popularity right there.
In 4th grade.
Yeah.
So basically, everybody was really more fascinated about watching the music, you know, seeing what was happening, and you were already on something like, I can do my own thing.
Yeah. And then like 5th grade, same shit. We was elementary, you know, it was elementary, man. So by that time, we getting ready to go to Hardman. That's when I was in the Long Drive for show.
Okay.
And cause I spent some time in Long Drive still at Cornelius, you know, in elementary. But when it was time to go to Hardman, that's when I was like, I gotta turn the page.
Right.
You know, I gotta turn the page. I gotta be known just as a rapper.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Period. Whatever it took. And
so once rap hit, you full speed. You know for sure that you.
Yeah, I was doing it already.
And it's not like 2025 where everybody's trying to be a rapper. So what was it more so like as far as like your peers?
Well, back then it was cool to rap because you know you got 83 Run DMC and Fat Boy, Al Houdini. You know, rap had hit.
Right.
So it was cool to rap.
Right.
We're talking the early 80s, you know what I'm saying? Everybody was rapping. K-RINO was out there. Klondike was out there.
In the early 80s?
Yeah. Gangsta Nip, you know what I'm saying? These are people I knew. I fucked with.
So they were actually being known as rappers here in Houston in the early 80s?
Yeah, at schools, yeah. It wasn't no radio for us or nothing back then. It was just we did rap shit.
So
we woke gazelles, we dressed as b-boys, we broke dance, you know, and we popped and locked.
Houston hip hop.
Yeah, right, it was Houston, it was New York and Houston.
Right.
That's when it was cool, you know what I'm saying? And then like after LL and them after the movement hit and the wave hit, it wasn't cool to rap no more. You know what I'm saying? That's when shit changed. That's when everybody wasn't rapping and wearing fat laces no more.
About what year?
Shit.
What era?
89, 88. You know, back when the crack scene hit. Because, you know, rapping was really about partying and being happy and shit. And that crack made everything, the crack era made everything change.
Where were you when you first became aware of crack? Now that shit being in the neighborhood and just how things were changing. What age were you just when you came into understanding of like, hey man, this shit ain't...
I was about 11 or 12.
So this is not too long after you hit Long Drive.
Nah, it was quick. Well, see, number one, I had an aunt. She stayed in Dallas. We used to go visit her every weekend. Every summer. You know, every summer we used to spend 1st and 5th Ward. And sometimes we used to go to Dallas and visit my auntie. And cause we'd go up there and she'd spoil us and shit. She knew all the cowboys and all of that. We go over there. I wear my Earl Campbell
so she
shit.
was well off to some degree.
Yeah, she went to school and did all that. And I remember when we first moved to Long Drive, we ain't had no furniture. All we had was our beds. And my mama had told us when Gallery Furniture first came to Houston. And my mom was one of the first, a lot of our mamas were some of the first customers. And man, she like, when you come home from school today, it's gonna be furniture in the house. So I was like, crunk, man. I remember getting out of school and running all the way to the highs, you know, shit, we got some furniture now in this motherfucker. So I open the door and I see somebody laying on the couch and I'm like, what the hell, we just got brand new furniture, somebody already laying on our couch. I'm like, who is this? And it was my aunt. She said, this your auntie, boy. And I'm like, what? I'm like, you don't look like my auntie. And she said, sit down. And she laid it out to me about the whole crack thing. That's when it first hit. It wasn't no $10 ride, it was only 50s. And she broke it down to me and she was like, I come home because I woke up sober for once. And I seen myself in the mirror and it wasn't me. And she said, I came home to shake it. You know what I'm saying? And she shook it, you know what I'm saying? She back on top. And that's when I first knew about crack. And like, as soon as she told me, it was like the next day was on the news. A new drug called crack cocaine, and you can get 10 pieces and die. I was like, nah, I only got 50 pieces, you know. And then, you know, this thing I know, we was in that era, man. We was in that drug epidemic, man. It was full throttle.
So tell us, man, for a lot of people that are younger, or just people that just don't know anything about the lifestyle, like, how was life before, and then like once you like right in the middle, like how did things change, or like?
Well, everything was more friendlier before the crack era. You know what I'm saying? It was skating ring.
Yeah.
You know, everybody was skating. Go to Super Skate Fun and Great Skate. It was a Rainbow and Gulf Gate. It was, you know, it was more
Lockwood skating.
Yeah, Lockwood. Oh yeah, Lockwood had one of the best ones. And, you know, it was 2 Rainbows. It was one off Lockwood, and you know, it was 2 of them. It was two skating rings we went to on the north side. I always got to ask Mike B.
Airline Mike was one of them. Airline was one skating ring.
I can't remember because I'm from the south side. I know Rainbow for sure. You know what I'm saying? And but yeah, man, it was, you know, it was a grow up fast thing. You know what I'm saying? Cause like, shit, You a young nigga, you walking out the house, you finna go to school. You my cousin through trip, you know, you walking to school. Bitch come up to you say, suck your dick for $10.
Like, well,
Damn. I got $11. You know, you